Sorry about that. I think my computer messed up. I wanted to talk to you guys today about special needs trusts. I spoke a little bit about this last week, but before I get started, I want to tell you guys the numbers for today. Total cases of COVID-19 today in Michigan, as last updated, are 45,646. There have been 4,343. Um, but the good news is a lot more people have recovered. There have been 15,659 cases of COVID-19 patients that have recovered. That's the good news. I do want to update you that the governor has extended our stay-at-home order to May 28th instead of the May 15th date. The good news is car manufacturers, the big three, are now allowed to go back to work starting Monday. I want to talk to you about a little bit about a special needs trust. I spoke a little bit about a letter of intent and what estate planning documents should be considered when you're looking to plan for the future for your special needs children. And a special needs trust is a really good way to do that. It's a discretionary spend-thrift trust. So it's created normally for a person who's disabled or the elderly. And it's a way to supplement that person's public benefits. These public benefits might include Social Security, income, Medicaid, Section 8 housing, disability benefits, and other state-sponsored programs, whether it's WIC or whether it's other type of food assistance, anything along those lines. And the number one advantage of having a special needs trust is that the trust helps maintain the individual's potential eligibility, hi Brenda, for public benefits, while at the same time it enables that individual to enjoy the income and principal in the trust. And typical expenditures made by a special needs trust include the following: purchasing a home for your child with a disability. This is always a big concern. Where is our child going to live after we move on? How are they going to do that? So with the special needs trust, your child will be able to pay for services that Medicaid doesn't cover, including home health care and other items like wheelchairs, handicap accessible vans, and mechanical beds. And those showers that the shower equipment that's often used for special needs children. Um, I can also pay for a personal attendant. Um, that should be acquired. Some, children need round day, 24-hour round care, and that's what it could pay for. It could also pay, I think I mentioned this last time, field trips or, cultural experiences, recreational experiences, anything like that. Could also enrich the life of a child with a disability. And there's two requirements to do that. One is having a beneficiary of the trust that and to set up the trust in a way where this beneficiary cannot have the authority to compel a distribution to themselves, as well as the beneficiary not having the authority to revoke such a trust. And this is really critical to the overall success of a special needs trust. And that is adequate funding. If you don't have the adequate funding, there's nothing in your trust. And the best way for parents to determine how much of their estate to leave to a special needs child is to craft and obtain what is called a life care plan. And you can do this by contacting a life care planner, and they will craft a plan for you that will estimate the cost of your child's care over a typical lifetime. If there are insufficient funds that are available, parents can also consider buying a life insurance policy. And with one type of policy, it would how it works is, upon the death of the second parent, the insurance proceeds are paid to the special needs trust for the care of the person with special needs. Selecting a trustee for your child. This is probably one of the most important aspects. Choosing someone and selecting this trustee often determines whether or not the trust succeeds in meeting your objectives for your child. Some things to consider about this trustee: they should have these characteristics. They should keep in mind that this is a long-term commitment. This is not something, that someone, takes, you divide everything up, like when somebody dies and then you're done. This is not like that. This is a long-term commitment. That person also has to have a special sensitivity to your child's disabilities. They should be active in the involvement in monitoring your child's services. They should have the ability to be an advocate for medical or financial entitlements, and they should have the ability to be a prudent investor and distributor of those trust funds. And while family members are often the people that want to serve as a trustee, unfortunately, they typically don't have all of those necessary qualifications. And for that reason, it's strongly recommended our families that we represent is to retain a professional trustee to oversee the special needs trust with a family member named as a co-trustee. So you'll have that family member that is dedicated, but you also have a professional person that they can work together to make sure that everything is carried out in accordance with your needs and with your child's needs. If the family selects a professional trustee, for example, from a bank, they should make sure that the bank has a trust department with an excellent track record for managing money. If a family chooses, for example, an attorney to serve as a professional trustee, parents, you should feel certain that this attorney has a good track record in managing trust money, that he or she will arrange to hire a professional money manager to oversee the trust investments. Families should also be aware that a trustee's annual fees typically range from 1 to 1.5% of the trust assets for the entire year. These annual fees can be looked at as an investment towards the preservation of the security and quality of a life of a child with disabilities. Another thing that is required, it's our trust accountings. The Social Security Administration requires an annual accounting of all the expenditure of the funds in a special needs trust. This accounting is intended to make sure that the trust funds have not been mishandled, and it serves to protect the person with special needs and any other beneficiaries of that trust. And because the accounting work is very technical and must adhere to the rules of what is called the Principal and Income Act, it is really best handled by an accountant who can be hired by the trustee, in which will be paid out of the trust. A special needs trustee must have some familiarity with supplemental Social Security income, um, where the supplemental security income is a federal program, or other times it's called SSI. It's a federal program where a minimum monthly cash payment is distributed to those that are of age, usually an elderly age, who are blind or disabled. And to qualify for SSI, a special needs individual must meet specific SSI definitions of disability for blindness or any other disability that they might have. So the eligibility is needs based with a limit on income and assets. SSI should not be confused with other Social Security benefits, such as retirement, survivor, dependent, or other disability benefits. SSI payments are dedicated to paying for the food and the shelter of a person with a disability. Now, selecting a care manager for a child with disabilities. A care manager is an important part of a special needs trust. They can direct the trust in, or the trustee can be directed to hire this care manager. This care manager's role is specialized in making the necessary arrangements to provide the special needs child or individual with the level of care that he or she requires. This care manager should have a social work background. They should have related expertise. They should be knowledgeable about all social service programs available to assist the beneficiary. And a good care manager will always, or they should be able to monitor the individual's progress. They should be able to ensure that the individual's needs are met. They should be able to coordinate nutrition and cleanliness programs. They should make sure that exercise and physical therapy programs are maintained. They should be able to coordinate any socialization or psychological counseling. They should also be able to ensure that the special needs person has an assistive device if needed. They should have a plan. They should be able to responsibly advocate to resolve problems in a quick and timely manner in the event of an emergency. I spoke a little bit about a letter of intent last week, but I really didn't divulge into it. So if you did watch my show last week and you started to think about what are the things that I should put into this letter of intent. And I wanted to preface that as part of the process of planning for the future of your special needs child, it's very important for parents to write this letter, laying out their wishes for their child's care. It really provides parents with an opportunity to explain in detail your children's unique life and background. It helps ensure that those that are going to be responsible for your child's care in the future will see your child as a real, multifaceted person rather than just a number, statistic, or faceless subject in a legal document. This letter also serves as a vital document for the trustee, providing him or her with a greater understanding of your child, because nobody knows your child better than you. You want to make sure that your family's specific wishes and goals and expectations can be carried out if you are faced in a situation where you are no longer capable, or in a situation where you've passed and nobody knows, the best way to care for your child. You want to make sure that this letter details your child's unique personality traits, his or her medical history and special needs, special education, past and present, treatment, therapy, daily care needs, what sets them off, what makes them happy, what makes them sad, what to do in a situation where they're at a loss, when they're feeling at a loss. What do you do to make your child happy? That's what we want people to know. Like their favorite foods or their favorite clothes, who their friends are, and anyone that's close to your child, whether it's like a friend, a neighborhood friend, or a certain family member. Everyone should be on the same page. You could also include favorite recreational activities and sports or hobbies, or a favorite place. Maybe they like to go to the aquarium. Anything that they love, their unique personality traits should be included in this letter. Something that I would think of putting in there are past vacations, maybe, or future destinations that your child would like to visit in the future. I hope that this information has been helpful. I wish I could spend more time with you today, but I do have some Zoom court to get to. I am looking forward to meeting, or to for you guys to tune in next week, and have a good weekend. Thank you.